indeed, everybody, in the matchup between Loyalty and Z10. Tenacity, let's get into the mix of it, CB. This is a very, very divisive band phase, as we saw. Gambit first up probably will be the calls. I'm pretty sure Z10 will do that, and let's hope Loyalty follow. Looks like that's going to be the case as we get into the mix of it. Now, I'm seeing some Spider-Man, some Scarlet Witch. I don't think we'll see them in the band's protects, though, but Devil Dinosaur definitely surefire to be that first protect for Z10. In return, though, they are going to lose access to something here, probably a strategist, and it's going to be Lunar Snow. Smart choice by Loyalty.
Smart choice, but not the smartest choice. We'll see what their first protect is going to be. You got to imagine it's going to be, no, not the Devil Dino, but instead going to go for a one-sided Lunar Snow. Okay, not a bad opening salvo there from Loyalty. I can't say I hate it, but there is still the tricky matter of the Rocket Raccoon and Zero Tenacity are going to snipe that one away. There's an opportunity for Loyalty to do the same, and I think in that situation, you do kind of favor the team that comes out with the one-sided Luna Snow, so that is Zero Tenacity giving Loyalty at least a crumb, but I do respect that even in this situation where they can kind of give up these picks in these bands and they can let Loyalty have a couple of wins here and there, even they are not willing to give up a one-sided Gambit.
No way will they. Well, we're waiting on the... Perhaps... Maybe could they go for the Loyalty Devil Dinosaur Protector? Do they not want to play the dinosaur here? They're going to let it go through. I mean, Z10 right now, they have an opportunity to get something pretty clear for themselves. Maybe even a one-sided dino. Wait to see if they're going to invest in that. Instead, they're going to go for the Mantis Lockout. Denying the Rocket, denying the Phoenix, the Mantis, and the Gambit that nullifies all potentials of attack boosting power there. In turn, they get themselves a massive one-sided rocket right there for themselves. That is going to be a very tough hill to climb for Loyalty, but they do knock out the Phoenix in return. Both teams don't have access to the Phoenix, and both teams will have a bit of a tough time, but nonetheless, White Fox is pretty good, and both teams can bring that to the table. But very interesting to see that not too many one-sided plays were made from those protects, but Rocket's still one to keep an eye on.
And it's the one that I think is just going to hand Zero Tenacity the win, if I'm being completely honest. Because, like, Loyalty, they try to go for this Luna team-up with the White Fox, and of course that team-up is really good, but it starts to really become unshackled when you get it with that triple strategist lineup, whether it's with the Mantis or with the Ultron. And the Mantis band comes through from Zero Tenacity. They're privy to that. They're not going to let that one through. Maybe Loyalty make an adjustment and try and throw in the Ultron and then play Jay-Z on this Luna Snow as a little bit more of a duelist Luna, as some teams have played, but if they don't go that way, then it's just going to be Rocket dictating the entire pace, because you also got the Star-Lord through. Xe is going to be manning up the Star-Lord, of course, and I was just talking earlier in the pre-show about what he is capable of doing on this Star-Lord. Doesn't even need the damage amp. To be completely honest with you, he could just go in completely ampless and still put in the hurt, and I believe could still win a Star-Lord duel against a damage-amped Star-Lord mid-ult. I want to see him take that one. Let's keep the power scaling going. Just see how high Xe can climb with this one, as Joey is going to open things up with a Doctor Strange teleport. Loyalty going to waste no time, take the fight straight to Z10. We'll see if Z10 are ready.
We're going to get ready for that portal play right here. Easy, leading the squad to the high ground. And lead them to their destiny. Let's see if it truly is going to be Child's Play. We'll find out. 5 seconds of the missionary unlocks. It's working towards those ult charges as they play into the neutral here. Into the mix of it all. We do have a Strange on the front line. Nice to see Doctor Strange not just, used for the portals, but in a bit of...
What just happened? What just happened? Jerry just took down 3.
Can we get a replay? What just happened?
He Thanos snapped Loyalty with one claw swipe. He took out 3.
Where did bro even get the money? What? Okay. All right. Well, lock back in, everybody. Jerry out here taking out 3 of Loyalty in that last fight right there. Just insanity, craziness. What is that? Alrighty. All right. Blackhead, everybody. Welcome to the beautiful season 8. Now. We got a 15% charge here on that mission. We're going to see if Young can also get it. Nice phase shift on Jerry, taking him out there. That is the answer right now to Black Cat. She's hard to hit, so you've got to use moves that can just hit anywhere around you.
Good enough. Put them down now, and Zero Tenacity going to be on the back foot, baiting Loyalty back into a fight on the point there. But the damage from Bumhyung is just so much. All the headshots into Soko is just too much. Gonna get res back up, but Loyalty are able to take control of the point, and they're also going to take control of Marvel, take him right back to the rest of the team, chomp him down, and it's going to be Zero Tenacity forced to retreat all the way back to the spawn door.
Looks like we've got the hops right there retreating back to their team. They've gained 33% lead, but LT is on the strength right now as they're going to climb to their 30% mark as well. They got a chance as well to bring out a little bit of a pop quiz, maybe surprise Z10. But a bit of a punch coming out, Soko does grab NXTs, that's going to force Strapple to hit that ultimate right there. Joey as well taking out Soko, big power coming out from the elegant Emma right there. Hopefully that's going to be more than what they need, but forcing Kumiho coming out from Laser, that's going to be a massive Galactic Legend coming out from both Eggsy and Kumiho at the same time, forcing a Psionic, and the Kumiho goes wild with the absolute amplifier right there. Eggsy gets a big, taking out Joey, Jerry's taken down, NXT's falls as well. That's 2 down for Loyalty. Z10 though do have the numbers game, but they need to capture it back right now as Loyalty's really stalling it out.
I mean, I will give Loyalty full credit. They do have a pretty decent read on this meta right now. Like, bringing the Emma Frost in does give them another tool to try and deal with this Galactic Legend. And XE, even through that, though, is still able to find one. And now he's pissed. He's going to take 2 more on the back end just for taking away the potential 3K he could have gotten with that Galactic Legend. And now he's halfway to another ultimate. How much damage did he do when no one was looking? This Zero Tenacity team, if you take your eyes off of XE or Jerry, whoever, they're going to pop off somewhere else on the map. And now Loyalty are going to lose the lead as Zero Tenacity going to retake it. Jerry going to pop the calling card, and Loyalty has to be on the lookout. There's going to be that call, that Fate of Both Worlds, and Akrobe able to take down XE, so that is a good retort coming out, forcing out that Freedom Charge from Marvel, and there's going to be a little bit of dino flipping action happening again. Soko gets caught out, and Loyalty are in the driver's seat.
Into it all, they're going to keep on. With that pressure, big crunch coming up from... Ooh, Joey does get away from it. Better rampage from NXT's though at the same time. Trying to build up to that pressure, trying to build up as much primal energy as they can to push on through and pummel through Z10. This is a Loyalty we haven't seen in a minute right now. They are holding their ground right here. They are, as you said, they got an understanding of the meta right now that has kind of shifted in the middle of this season, and this is good to see. At the same time, the White Fox factor is there to consider, as because everybody, you see it, it's almost Baiza time. We might see the Kumiho coming out. We got to get ready for it. 85% climb for Loyalty. If they win one more fight, they're going to take the round. Let's see what Z10's got. They do have the Seer. Wendy could pop it at any moment. In return, what will Loyalty answer with?
Oh, next he's also going to be coming out with the Galactic Legend, so that Wombo combo could come out. Keep your eye on the skies as both of the Star Lords look to write their own legends, but XE had the damage amp, and so he's got the damage, and he's going to take down Bum Kung. The Fate of Both Worlds is not going to be coming online. Wouldn't even have been enough as the Kumiho unleashed. Not going to be enough either. XE just burns right through that, and Loyalty, one by one, they will fall. And with a swift 1-2 punch, the CYA and the Galactic Legend, Zero Tenacity, will claim the point, but Loyalty managed to make it up to 99%, so gonna be a little bit dicey from here on out. Zero Tenacity gonna have to leverage this ult advantage.
This is a bit of a tough one. Z10 did use 2 ults there to take down Loyalty's capture. At the same time, Loyalty did have to use 3 ultimates there to try and stall it, but wasn't in their favor. Nonetheless, Portal's going to be going off from NXTs. They're going to be able to bring it into the fray. They got a chance to build an Agamotto here, but first, they need to keep Jay-Z alive to hopefully get that Lunar Snow going, get that dance, get that Fate of Both Worlds. It's the fate of their chance of winning this round here into the mix of it all, and he's going to be able to use that Beer Beacon nice and early. Sonic coming out right now from Joey. That's going to pull them into size. Jerry gets away from the fire. Bigger slash, bigger crash. There it is. Assembling the team forward. That's Marvel. That's going to be Jerry taking out 1 pick. Loyalty's down 1. They're down a second. Right now, the numbers game is not in their favor. They don't have a chance of another Portal contest. It's all on the line if they can get these ultimates off, but it's not enough. The resets have begun. Jerry is slashing through 1 by 1, and that's going to be 99 down overtime, 100 to Z10, who turn it and take the round.
I mean, let's be honest, Loyalty were not going to win that fight because Zero Tenacity had the ults and Loyalty were forced to make the swaps to make the Portal play happen, but they shouldn't have been all the way up to 99. This, like you said, is a different Loyalty. It is a much stronger Loyalty than we've seen. And I'm not quite sure if it's just Zero Tenacity just, you know, getting a little bit of a slow start and Loyalty catching them off guard, or if Loyalty, like I said, like maybe they just do have the right read right now. The Emma Frost adaptation from Joey, able to help shut down XE, I think was a really solid read. It wasn't quite enough because that Star-Lord Rocket combo is just still so strong. It's just so much damage to try and deal with. And like even that wasn't enough to lock him down, but it did put up a pretty decent fight. We go 99 to 99. If Loyalty can keep this up, I don't know, maybe we could see the full sweep here on Hell's Heaven. Maybe we go all 3 rounds.
I'm down for a bit of a competitive bout. I know people were expecting 2-0 Fiesta all day today, but I want cinema in Asia today. I want to know. I was promised chaos. I was promised some upsets, and this could be a very big one if Loyalty can pull it through. But I mean, they showed some good stuff last round. Let's see if they got what it takes to take Z10 down. But Z10, they're formidable. They've earned it. They've earned the respect and acclaim they have, and they definitely have what it takes to win this as well. Only one round away from taking a map and gaining a lead once again. Let's see if they can do it. We already know how point contention's going. Loyalty already set up, but into the mix of it all again. Jerry stacks him in the backline, and they just blink. 2 of them down, 3 of them down. Loyalty already lost half their team to that combination right there. It's gotta be the simple answer of don't stack in the corner, because Jerry will slice you up.
Yeah, but it's so hard not to stack in the corner because that's exactly where Zero Tenacity corral you. With Soko going aggressive there, especially with the Devil Beast Rampage coming out as well, all you can really do is back up, and if there is a wall behind you, you better believe on the other side of it, Jerry is going to be lurking, waiting to strike, and he does just that. Zero Tenacity now with 3 ults coming on over into this next fight, leveraging 2 of them, and it's 2 big ones. See ya, Jay-Z. You are definitely not feeling the Empire state of mind right now, and your mind belongs entirely to Zero Tenacity as they just knock them all down, and Bum Hyung just gonna sit and spawn where it's safe. You know, a little bit of shelter.
Yeah, a little bit of shelter is the answer right now. Z10 looking like the Z10 of old right now, being very formidable, being very optimal in their positioning, in their mission area control. But we're going to see some ults early as Loyalty try to walk out of spawn. Jerry's going to hit that calling card. They're going to try to pull something crazy out of the deck of cards. We'll see if it's enough on themselves. Bum Young taking out Jerry. Jerry's back with the beacon though. They're going to be barreling on forward, bringing that firepower. Let's see if the pump action can definitely come from punishing right there. But in the backline again, Jerry goes, slashing once, slashing twice, taking out Necro. Jerry in return is taken by Bum Young. The answer is the pump action. The Punisher might be what is needed to take down the Black Cat. They do land that execution, but it doesn't get the value they need, and they do not have the potential to try take it here, but we'll see nonetheless. Gumiho's unleashed from both Gamio and Laser right there. We're going to see if it's enough for themselves, assembling into the Freedom Charge right there for the stall of the Sentry to see if they can keep gaining more percentage.
Almost 82%. Jerry just goes in. He is just in there and breaking those claws and robbing Loyalty blind. All their cash now in Jerry's big fat pockets. And even with that final exam coming out from the Krobe, the sustain just isn't there. Xe takes the skies. Galactic Legends. See ya. You're done. There's going to be another portal play coming out from Loyalty. They'll have a Fatal Both Worlds on either side, but the CYA is now going to come out from Wendy, and again, it's just so much damage. You just burst right on through it, and Jerry again raking the claws across the eyes of Loyalty, even taking the fight straight into their spawn door, and you will not want to come through this portal and see what waits on the other side. It's Xe with a little bit more damage, and just doing it like it's easy, taking down Joey, and that is 100-0. That's what we expected for both points. Like you said, the Zero Tenacity of old came out to play on Frozen Airfield.
That is literally the win condition right there. Jerry on the Black Cat. Unleashed, unmatched, unchallenged, and will absolutely slice you up. That is a crazy, crazy presence right there from the flank line of Z10. That dive presence, that power Marvel there to back him up as well. As well. Crazy.
Yeah, how did Baser get 15k damage? How do you let that happen?
Ooh, ooh. I will say though, look, I saw Bum Young going for the thing. If that came out a little bit earlier, it might have been the answer. But the problem is the Star-Lord. Very tough to handle. A lot of firepower coming out, and it can really put a big, big thing player in the backline, and not in a good spot that they want to be. But nonetheless, that is a strong, strong first map for Z10. And we got to bring, you know, a bit of points to the board when it came to that ban phase, as you said it, CB. One-sided rocket. It matters.
Yeah, what's scary is, like, even with that one-sided rocket and with Xe on the Star-Lord, Jerry just running roughshot on that Black Cat, and you can even see, like you said, Bum Hung swapping over onto the thing, potentially trying to go for a little bit more counter dive to try and shut Jerry down. It's so worrying when you see a team go all in onto one particular combo, and that's not even the biggest threat on the field at any given moment.
Too true. Too true. I mean, there's just so many things to unpack there. Like, how can Loyalty turn around? They started off strong, but they had no momentum going into that second round. It's almost as if they just gassed out too early. Still a chance for themselves though, going to second map, we'll see. The question is, what are they going to pick? Are they going to play into the same trap again? Are they going to go Museum of Contemplation? If they go to Museum...
Yes, they are. I can already tell you they're definitely going to Museum of Contemplation. It's every time a losing team is like behind the 8 ball, they'll be like, one Museum of Contemplation, please. Top shelf.
It has literally not worked for a majority of these players. Going to Museum
doesn't matter if it works or not.
Worked.
It's not about whether or not it works. It's about what's going to happen. You and I, we both know it.
Forget comfort. Go to chaos. Chaos is all you have left when you're on the back foot right now. If you're at the bottom of the bracket, you got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Throw chaos into the mix. It might be the move. But before all of that, we're going to go for a quick break. We come back, big times, game times, map 2 between Loyalty and Z10.
Maximum pulse!
We are undefeatable!
Welcome back,
I'm jamming like
everybody.
Mantis.
Ooh, yeah, you jamming out? I love it. We
100%.
need what is it? We'll get a full dance party, you know? We get Luna on the mic there, Mantis jamming out. Who else is coming to the party, guys?
I'll hit the Devil Dino dance. I know he's got some schmoves. I've seen him out there in the discotheque over in Central Times Square. Times Square. There's so many New York locations. I almost said Central Park. Not a place you want to be dancing. No.
Certainly not. Hey, maybe somebody wants to, you know, dance with Brother Tosco. Why not? I can see that.
Probably got a couple moves.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I've had enough blood hunt of Ratatoska. No, thank you. I'm good. No more. No more. What I will say is let's get a map. Okay, hypothetically, what if there was a map where it truly dictates its own meta, and I'm talking about there is no floor, and the convoy was airborne, and you would be forcing you to play airborne heroes on that map. Maybe there's some platforms to jump in between and stuff, but there is no. I'm talking majority of the floor of the map is 80% just you fall and you get gone. I'm just saying, I'd love to see that. But you know what I'd love to see more than that? We got Lower Manhattan. We got Lower Manhattan. We are done contemplating. We're going downtown. We're taking Kingpin down. Happy days.
What do you know? It's another New York location. Worst place in the MCU to potentially live. There's always stuff happening in this city.
What is that in the sky? I just noticed there's something. What is in the sky right now of that map? What is behind them? What is that? Is Thanos invading? Are we there yet, guys? Hopefully not anytime soon, okay? Because we don't want Thanos to invade in the midst of Ignite here. We got games to play. We got tournaments to get through. We need.
And we already got Jerry. We don't need.
Yeah, true. Jerry's doing the snapping.
Yeah, they're snapping away, making triple KOs for days on that one. You know, for all we know, what was in the background could have been Galactus. Could be anything there. You don't know until you know. But what we do know is our second map is about to get in order. So, good luck, everybody. Let's get to it.
Ooh.
All right, couple of Gambit bands, and first protect Devil Dino.
Now, great Venom map, very good Venom map. I could see the Venom Luna being something prioritized by these teams here. As we swing into Manhattan, we could see quite a bit as well. Now, Anixis is hovering Penny. Penny not played too often, but can work very well on defense here. So if Loyalty want to run that, I actually kind of vibe with it because it's a bit unorthodox and they need to catch Z10 off guard. Right now,
Correct.
Z10, they've got the formula. They've got the formula.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Penny actually has a 100% win rate in Americas. Can we fact check that? Can we get Jamie to pull that one up?
Listen, I can call up Jarvis. Jarvis, send some chocolates to Anix's house so we can get some Penny Parker gameplay and spice it up here on Ignite tonight. But in the mix of it all, we did see Lunar Protector for Jay-Z. At the same time, nobody gets to play Phoenix. Oh, actually, I'm pretty confident Phoenix will get banned on both sides. Mantis following suit as well. Z10 do not have access to the Mantis. Smart decision as well by Loyalty to lock away Jerry's Black Cat. That she needs to go to prison for a little bit for her crimes.
Even
against Loyalty.
smarter decision to lock out the Rocket, though, too.
That's big. These are some heavy good. This is a great ban phase so far for Loyalty. However, Z10 in return deny them the Rocket as well, but they do protect themselves the White Fox. I do like the White Fox from Loyalty. That is giving a good presence there. Let's see what the final ban is that's going to offend. Oh, it's going to be the Mantis.
Yeah, the same thing as we saw on Hell's Heaven, where Loyalty are trying to play into this Luna White Fox team up, but they played it with the Strat Pool rather than the Ultron, and I don't generally love it, but I also don't hate it. It worked out pretty well for Loyalty, at least to catch Zero Tenacity off guard to begin with, but we talked a little bit about the Phoenix, and we're going to be talking a lot more about her, as that's going to be protected one-sided for Zero Tenacity, so you take away the damage amp for Exy, tell you what, he's got something even worse.
Alrighty, there it is. But I know is the Protect and Phoenix for Z10 at the same time. The absolute legends right here. The backline, nobody wants to face White Fox and Luna Snow. Protected for Loyalty. See the potential of a Wolverine maybe from Gumbo. That could be big. That could be good. Joey on the Emma. Constant with it. Jerry considering some dual pull mayhaps? Dual pull kind of crazy. Not seen too much in Pacific, but has potential.
And Jit Ward taking a trip abroad, playing on Jerry's account. Maybe we do actually get to see a little bit of dual pull action. I mean, it's Lower Manhattan, it's new, it's different, it's wacky, it's chaotic. It's something that I think does kind of force you to play off meta compositions, does kind of change things up a bit, and go with the flow, change it up a little bit as well. Bring out something that Loyalty's not expecting. If they're gonna take you to a map you probably weren't prepared for, I'm sure you've scrimped a couple of times, but maybe you don't have a solid strategy locked down quite yet. This is a good opportunity to maybe return the favor, try and catch them off guard. But speaking of being caught off guard, 100% win rate Penny Parker is going to be flashed by Anixes and is brought all the way out on the defensive side. And again, I don't hate it on a map like this, where you have a lot of interesting angles of approach that you can just lock down with the Spider's Nest, with a couple of well-placed mines. And Marvel is going to have to be scouting that one out on the Captain America. Probably even going to have to punch a hole through that wall you see on the right-hand side. I think that's normally the preferred method of entry. And you can even see the whole team getting involved in the reconstruction.
And already they are on the rotation. Loyalty do meet them. They do bait around, which baits Loyalty around. They're going for a little bit of a cat and fish game right now. You got to be very, very careful here as they turn the corners, try to get different angles. Eggsy already farming up to that End Song Inferno. We're going to see that get very heated, very quick right now as they do close in, take the left, take the middle, take the right, and try to box Loyalty back into the mission area. A strong pick right here. Marvel on the group. A group pick is great here because they can go Strangling Prison into the End Song combo. And just to add that little bit of extra spice, Jerry has a little quick switch right there. Going onto the Moon Knight. But he does get hooked and sent out of here by Bumyoung right there. Taking him out on the Bucky. Soko taking out Joey in return. That's a trade right there. That's a Vanguard down for Loyalty. And you don't want to be a Vanguard down when you're on defense right here. Spider Nest being set up, but they're going to be taken down. Anixes, though, formidable. And the front lines, getting that Spider Nest set up allows them to bring sustain for Gumbo, allowing the Dino action to be... Oh, it's a quick grab right there coming out from Soko in return, but they're healed up. Bumyoung's trying to get the value as well. And you already know what Eggsy, in the midst of it all, already has End Song Inferno ready for the next fight. Anixes gets blasted by Phoenix Marks. They were so perfect.
Yeah, like you thought Exia was in trouble, but no, he just one phase shift and then a couple of shots coming down range, and he pops Annexes like a balloon, and an Endsong Inferno is going to be good for a little bit more damage. Jerry there with a cleanup and a nice little quad for Exia to close this one out. Gonna get 1 ticks, make it 2. Annexes swapping over to the Doctor Strange to try and deny the third and stand their ground while they still have ground to stand on.
Honestly, you do not want to play Penny into Phoenix and Phoenix Knight. Honestly, it's just too much. There's too much firepower. There's too much damage. Dropping an Anaconchu, taking Anacrobe. Amber falls as well. Marvel gets the pick. Wendy as well. That's 1-to-1-to-1. Everybody taking somebody down as they get to the shield vehicle here. As they're going to get that moving. Shield mobile is already on. Wendy is the one leading the charge. Let's see if they're going to set up on the Ironwood wall on the high ground right there. There's a good spot by Marvel giving himself that, you know, indestructible situation. Set up the Thorn/Walls as well inside these Manhattan buildings right here. These apartments, these are well furbished, but unfortunately they are being destroyed as we speak. The rent is going up.
Yeah, typical New York fashion. I mean, as destroyed as they are, that's still probably like $3K a month, you know? New York
God,
moment.
Man, what?
It's crazy. It's insane. I'm so like it's. Yeah, it's pretty rough, and I can only imagine that since Kingpin's takeover, it's only gone up. Jerry is going to be caught out there, forced to retreat. Fate of Both Worlds is going to come out from Jay-Z. Gamebo is there as well, and Bumyoung. Loyalty are just investing everything to try and make it happen, but Exy off here on a flank is finding the damage, and for all those ultimates coming out from Loyalty, only at 1 KO, and Exy doesn't need an ultimate to do it. He just does it raw, finds 3, and is looking for the 4th, and let's give it to him, and Necrobe gonna fall, but it's gonna be Bazer robbing Exy of the glory, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna be able to get halfway through this point here, threaten the point B cap, and Loyalty still collecting themselves.
The power of the Secret Spy and the Lawyer was there to nullify the Soldier and the Knight. You gotta be very careful when you trade those ultimates. You gotta make sure you get the value you want in return, but Exy is on the diner trying to push forward past the Ironwood wall. Gets forward, gets the momentum. Exy with the Endsong in the back line right there, taking out JC and Gamble for the double KO right there, burning it up as a Phoenix should right there, and already setting all marks onto Annexes, who gets blasted away. There's no one there to sustain. They're gonna have to go back to spawn right now, but their spawn doors right there, and Exy is already marking them as they walk out barely, as half their body was outside the spawn. They lost half their HP bar too.
Oh, good freeze to force that phase shift back out. But Exy is still just clicking heads left and right, and then literally flicking to the left, hitting ahead, flicking to the right the other way, and now you gotta turn around, as that is where Jerry is lurking and has caught Jay-Z outside of the invisible boundary, so close to that oasis of salvation, and it just doesn't come through. Jerry cuts the back line in half. It is not done chopping. One more for Necrobe, and that is going to be 2 strategists down in the dirt, and that means that everybody else is Exy's for the taking, as he is going to find one, pump in the damage onto Annexes, and not going to be the one to find the Elim there. Hand of Khonshu. Nope, Exy is having none of that one. A nice little 2-piece and a headshot there onto Jay-Z. And what do you do against this guy? How do you stop somebody who is just this damn good?
Ooh, you gotta shut it down, and there's only a few heroes that can answer that call or try to outmatch it themselves. The only issue is they don't have access to some of them right there. There is no Phoenix of their own. Maybe they could bring out the Hela. Maybe they could bring out Elsa. Elsa could honestly be a great option here to handle Exy if Loyalty have it in their arsenal. That's another thing. Black Cat is available for Loyalty if they want to bring it out, but waiting on that moment is the key. May not be the map to do it, but there it is, letting it out right now. Jerry gonna bring it up as the Lawyer shield right now, swinging the gavel down. Liza's gonna hit that as well, gonna get that Kumiho unleashed themselves. Bumyoung as well, making actions happen. They take down the Kumiho. They do grab him and shut them down. Gambo gonna bring that damage, gonna bring that Punisher, consistent firepower, and shut them down, as we can see. Group on the back foot. Everybody on the back foot right now is reject. Sorry, seriously, I have to regroup. Oh, never mind. They're not regrouping, right? They're turning it up with the Shining Prison into the combo right there. They're not done. They're not out, but they counted it. Necro dropped the cleanest boundary right there and countered. Z10 got crazy there. They almost flipped it, but Loyalty were ready for it. They did use 2 strategists.
Yeah, they were too ready for it. They popped both the Fate of Both Worlds and the Invisible Boundary, and now this next fight is kind of cooked. Like, Bumyoung and Gamebo have to go absolutely massive here, burst through Wendy's Fate of Both Worlds just to try and stay alive in this fight. And you can tell, like, they want to take this one on the card so they at least get an opportunity at a second fight if they lose this one, which they very well might, not having a strategist to be able to shut it down.
Oh, Jerry caught out by the flank right there as Gumbo lined them up and set that marksmanship. You got to be very careful. Frank Castle knows Matt Murdock very, very well. But There's no timing out. Kraken Impact does get a couple reset marks, but the question is, can they get the resets to follow? Setting up the execution on right now, but Zero Tenacity playing it safe, playing it on the back foot right now as Soko's Rampage runs out. They're going to be able to just kind of keep the fight neutral here, as everybody did use their ults. It's going to be a bit of a stalemate here for now.
Good situation for Loyalty, though, as they're able to get Necrobe up towards that invisible boundary, but it's going to be too late to save Bumhyung, and it's just not going to come out. Joey is going to fall as well, so going to have to keep that one in your back pocket for another day, as Zero Tenacity seemingly have this map in their back pocket, and Jerry is going into your back line and taking it all for himself. Exy with a parting shot onto Necrobe, and Zero Tenacity threatening the full cap, but now as the Strategist ultimate starts trying to come back for Loyalty, there's an option to stand their ground, and only under a minute left for Zero Tenacity to get this the rest of the way.
Only a minute to win it right now. There's still very good time for Loyalty, but of course there is more and more to consider here as we get to the final door at the end of downtown Manhattan. Everybody lock in. Boundary going out from Baiza right there. That's going to be it from Baiza. Exy with the Ansong Inferno. Necro matching with the boundary. Oh, another double strategist situation for themselves. Loyalty in a very tough spot. But you know what? There's only 20 seconds left. Maybe it was worth it. Strangling Prism does collect a couple, and they go for the Saintbolt Mindwood Wall combination from Marvel themselves, getting a double KO taken out too, and the rest fall one by one after another as Z10 get that shield mobile to the very end. Nobody can make it in time.
That's just like, it's one of the worst mistakes you can make, right? Layering the Strategist ultimates like that, and especially against a team like Zero Tenacity, you can see just the killer instinct of Marvel. He will be having all of that. He says, oh, no Strategist ultimates? Catch. Eats a Strangling Prison and catches both of them, like you said, throws in the walls, throws in the Spore Bomb, and it's just too much damage. It just bursts through any healing you could have without those ultimates there, and what can you do against something like that? And even if you manage to clean up those mistakes, you still have the tricky situation of how do you deal with Exy on the Phoenix. You took away his rocket, so now the Star-Lord not going to be coming out to play on this map. Doesn't matter, you gave him something far more sinister. The Phoenix, I don't know what his damage numbers are right now, but they have got to be in the stratosphere, and we're only halfway through the map.
Absolutely right now. That is the moment. Let's see if they can make it for themselves. Oh, I gotta say, there was something there early with that Penny factor. You know, Penny Parker was good, but when you get walked down by Phoenix Moon Knight, there's got to be something else there to give that consistent shield, and I don't think Devil Dinosaur is the answer to that. Devil Dinosaur is a bit of a meat shield. You know?
I feel like it bought them a little bit of time, but like once that Spider Nest dropped and Soko put in a lot of effort to try and get that Spider Nest down, it all just kind of crumbles, right? Like you said, there's no shield at that point.
Definitely right there. Oh, into the mix of it. 5 seconds till those mission area doors unlock, and everybody locking as Exy is gonna go for the. Hold on a second. Exy spotted it. Exy knows they're going for the portal, which means Z10 are rushing back for the contest. They know that there's a portal to the high ground from Loyalty, but they've already set up for the defense here. Bunkered into the corridor. They're gonna try to rotate around Joey as well on the Doctor Strange. Seeing if it's going to be the value for themselves. All the mines are set up by Marvel. Taking out a bit of chunk of Joey's HP right there. You got to be very careful. Somebody's going to heal up Joey. Alex is taking quite a bit of damage as well, as Z10 are kind of in a flip situation as Loyalty is defending their mission area here. It's a bit of a mirror realm situation.
It's just like we went back in time to the previous round, but one tick has already been claimed for Loyalty, so Marvel's got to go in with a damage takedown Annexes, and that's a great way to try and get themselves back in the driver's seat. And speaking of divers, Gamebo gonna get caught there by Exy yet again. Jerry has access to your backline, and he did bring out the dual pool. A little bit of Jit Ward traveling abroad, just like we said, and Zero Tenacity getting the fight win here, but they did give up one tick.
All right, 2 minutes and 55 left for Loyalty to try and make something happen here. All Z10 have to do to claim this round, to claim this map, to claim this series is hold these Manhattan doors. Let's see if they can deny their chance of getting into this building right here as we go into another fight, another bout. Everybody's got their ult scanned as well, thanks to the glorious Kingpin technology out here. Nobody has a secret left that cannot be told, as we now know where it's all adding up, where it's all stacking up. Loyalty have a chance to go through the right side, go through the main doors. They see those doors at Schwarz, and Bumyoung's going to be the one to try and shred through them, but puts himself in a bit of a dire spot and takes a bit of poke coming out from Exy. But they do manage to get through. Goes for the hook, goes for the... Ooh! Barely misses Soko.
Doesn't miss Exy, though. Will not be able to confirm the Elam on there, but does put him to critical HP. Has to fall back to get a little bit of healing, and Speaking of healing, there's an invisible boundary to keep Bum-Hyung alive. He's able to deal with Jerry, and that is a good opening now, but Loyalty have to stick the landing, and Zero Tenacity going to concede a little bit of ground and clap back with a vengeance. Good strangling prison, but Joey got in there and bursted him down. Soko not able to capitalize off of that Groot ultimate. Says it's Spider Sweeper time, does Marvel, but he is getting bursted down so low that the Fate of Both Worlds is forced out from Wendy, and Zero Tenacity are on the back foot right now as Loyalty have seemingly found their way in, but Jerry has managed to find his way back into the back line, and this time nothing will stop him from claiming his man. He'll take one down, get traded out though. Kraken Impact taken to the skies, crashing back down. Can he find anything? No. Marvel puts in the Justice, and Exy clicking heads as is his want. 2 ticks for Loyalty, but I don't think they're going to get a whole lot more than that on this exchange.
Oh, wait, indeed, right there. A minute on the clock left for everybody to see who can hold it, to see who can potentially capture it back. Look, they're getting progress though, CB. They did get 2 ticks every single time they've fought. They've bought some more opportunity for themselves right now, and it was a good fight, but they need to activate, and there it is. Bum-Hyung gets to pick on Exy right now. That's the firepower down from Z10. There's no beacon. There's no chance to come back quickly. They need to go in now, and honestly, NXT should start rampaging.
Forcing out the Symbiotic Resilience from Soko. There's that final judgment and a Psionic Seduction. They're able to burst down Soko. That is a good early salvo, and now they're going to just melt Marvel down, and that is going to be the 3rd tick coming through, and Loyalty going to unlock point B, and they're even going to get a couple of staggers there. That's a late death for Baser, and that's going to mean Zero Tenacity have to peel so far back, give up so much ground to Loyalty. They can maybe try and get these hit scan duelists set up on the high ground here, claim these apartments. Like I said, $3K a month, but they'll be having it for free.
Ooh, bit of a bout right there from the strategist. Got to be very careful. Oh, Exy. Oh, Exy marked down by Gumbo on the sidelines. Are you insane right now? Jerry matches though, taking out JC a piece for a piece as they avenge each other's duelists right there. But there's the mix of it all. There's the firepower right now. Boom! Beat crunch coming out from Soko with the last proc of the feast there. When you bring in that attack power, a little bit of dino jumping action. Gambo's going to be taken down. It looks like Z10 do stop the momentum of Loyalty's shield mobile here. But we will have to see how the next fight unfolds. Still 2 minutes left. The Crub's got bounty for the next fight too.
I think Loyalty are doing a really good job of finding some of these picks, but they're having to stretch themselves so far in order to find them that the backline just gets left vulnerable, and that's when Jerry strikes. And if he takes down, whether it's Jay-Z or whether it's Necrobe, doesn't matter. The job is done because the healing is already cut in half for Loyalty, and they can't maintain this, like I already said, stretched thin offense. And they're going to try this again, taking out the high ground, but they need to be careful. Where is Jerry? Can they mark the back line? There's going to be the invisible boundary. And they're able to deal with Soko and even get a little bit more for their money. What a rampage coming out from Anaxes, taking down 2, and a Kraken Impact as well, going to deliver Exy right to Bum-Hyung. There's a treat for you, my friend, and Jerry will be brought to justice last, and Loyalty going to win this fight, but that fight happens so far back. They're going to have to win 2 more fights potentially to try and get this point B cap.
It's a very tough position for Loyalty right now, but this is the momentum they've been craving right now to see if they can keep on going. If they win 1 more fight, they're going to get more time in the bank, and they're going to get more opportunity to clear the rest of Manhattan. We're going to see if they got what it takes to fire on up against Z10. Let's see. First up, Soko goes for the rampage. Mix it up, match it up with JC. Going to drop the Fate of Both Worlds. Everybody's going to see Gambo lining up the shots right now on the Punisher. Shredding on through, trying to take down more and more. They did get Jerry in the mix of it all. The boundary drops from Baser right there. That's going to be enough from Baser. That's going to be Marvel. Taking out Anaxes as well on the Groot right there. The Dino is down. That's going to be a lot of pressure. You know what time it is. Marvel smells the chance for a Strangling Prism. They're going to build up to it for now. Eggsy in the front lines as well. Land the mark of the Phoenix right now. Joey taken down by the last shot right there. The psychic battle between 2 crazy mutants goes in favor of Eggsy. They're going to set up more marks. They're going to buy more time. They're going to get as many picks as they can because they are shredding through the last hopes of Loyalty's time bank right there. There's only 1 more chance for 1 more fight.
A few things in life more exciting and more fun to watch in this game, more satisfying than a Phoenix who is just clicking the head, stacking up the sparks. There's about an ult bank stacked up here for Loyalty, but Exy has the angle, knows where they all are. They have all been scanned. An invisible boundary is going to give them a little bit of safe cover, but as the final judgment comes out, Zero Tenacity, they just kite it. Look, there's no joy, there's no targets, there's no nothing. They do catch Baser out all by himself, and they will be able to take them down there. And Song Inferno now crashing down from Xe. Blink and you miss it. Loyalty are done, gone, swept under the rug, as Zero Tenacity will find the dominant fight win, the dominant map win, and a dominant series win as Necrobe tries to go for the strange TP, but it is too little too late. He can't get there in time, and Zero Tenacity with a 2-0.
Exy's Phoenix is just insane right there. And there it is. Wrap up the series, everybody. Woo! And put it to the power of the Phoenix right there. There it is. You know
right.
it. Well-earned MVP.
About as well earned as it gets. I want to see these damage numbers because they have got to be, like I said, in the stratosphere. Astronomical amounts of damage are being pumped out there by Xe with no amps, by the way. No Mantis, no Ultron, no CYAs, no nothing. Just raw left-click actions and a couple of psionic detonations sprinkled in here and there. Nearly 45k, 24 final elims for Xe. Like, that is disgusting. Gross. Ew. You can't show that on twitch.tv.
Whew, it's more than double the top elims. Final hits coming out from Bumyong there. That is definitely, Xe was on the mark, but Jerry set up quite a bit. Everything was impeccable. We're going to talk about Wendy on the Luna, so much presence, but for me, something we haven't seen too much of, and I love the versatility of this player. Marvel was just living up to that name. Absolutely marvelous right there. Representing so much Vanguard presence in the front line, answering every unorthodox frontline dynamic that Loyalty brought to the table. They brought chaos. Loyalty actually did really well and brought chaos here, but Z10 adjusted quickly and got back on their horse and showed everybody they're still one of the top dogs here in Asia, and they've got some points on the board. But like you said, CB, they need to start getting them now, especially in this final week of group stage.
Yeah, you're expecting them to be contesting with the XOXO1s and with the rejects, so you can't see them falling to the likes of Loyalty. And I'm glad that you highlight Marvel, because he's one of those guys that has always had his flexibility on display when it comes to the Vanguard role. You know, we talk a little bit about Gargoyle playing the Rogue. Marvel, I think, is one of the only other people in the region who can be that good on the Rogue, but is also just as good when it comes to the Venom, to the Groot, to the Penny even. We saw all these different looks from this guy, and it was all looking good.
Can't forget the Captain America either. You know, there's a reason that within their team and maybe out of there, they call him Captain Korea. Definitely bringing a lot of aura when playing that hero. But I've got to say, they went from 0 to 100 real quick there for Z10. But I was impressed with some of the little moments from Loyalty as well. And I think that, you know, if they continue to work on those small things, they might find that room towards improving heading forth. But I guess a question to both of you: do you think Loyalty will be able to secure at least one win before the end of group stage?
Again, like, I mean, they've got N1 Hex and Rival Esports on the other side of this, and those are going to be must wins for all three of those teams, because, you know, that's how they're going to qualify. Only one out of those three teams can escape that vortex at the bottom and make it out to playoffs. And this version of Loyalty, I think, potentially could get the better of N1 Hex, but there are still some things that they need to clean up. If they keep leveraging some of these ban drafts like they have been and playing the game the same way, if they're able to just keep their backline safe, I think it might be doable.
I mean, we've got this sort of trifecta rivalry going on right now at the bottom of the bracket. How crazy is that? It's very reminiscent of OCE with the little tiebreaker situation, but we're not there just yet. I don't think they're going to get us into a tiebreaker, but we're definitely going to have cinema between these teams as they're going to try and get those pivotal wins, and they got to get them against each other, between N1 Hex, between Loyalty, of course, between RVL. Let's see if they can do it, but Z10 did claim the victory here. They did get it indeed over Loyalty, which means Z10, they got momentum. They got to take on N1 Hex tomorrow. Then, of course, they're going to take on RVL at the end of the weekend as well. This is the momentum they wanted. This is the wins that they need to take themselves back to that top spot. Let's see if they can pull it off. But, of course, I think we might have a chat with one of them. Matsy?
I reckon we will. Ring, ring, ring. We are going to be welcoming in one of our Z10 players right now. And, well, it's Zoko. A pleasure to have you on board again, man.
Hello.
Hello. And I got to say, a question to you, I suppose, about a different side of things. How is it for you personally playing now, I guess, a bit more with creative there? Like, how is it navigating the language barrier for the team?
It's it's a little bit harder for me personally. I think overall it's better for the team though. It lets like more of like the like nitty gritty stuff that needs to get like calm between the Korean players, like just like be communicated to each other, and I just try my best to like do my job.
Now that is, that's crazy. CB, I'll let you go, of course.
Oh, no. We had a bit of a pause. I was going to let you go first, but I guess I'll take it. I'll say, so I'm going to throw a lot at you real quick here. You have a loss to Reject, and you have that 2-1 loss to EXO. You're most likely going to see both of those teams again in the playoffs down the line. It's going to be on a new patch, an entirely new environment. So what's your guys' mindset looking to the future at those matchups? How are you tackling it? How are you approaching it? How are you preparing for those showdowns?
I think we're just going to continue to work hard. We're going to attempt to try more things in scrims. I think one thing that we were doing as often as we should have in scrims before was trying out new things. We were kind of stagnating, I think. So I think us finding out like what works, what doesn't work, just like different matchups we haven't tried before, like just like both ends, like what's good versus one thing, what's bad versus another thing. I think that'd be very helpful moving forward.
So let me expand on that, finding out what works and what doesn't work. So what have you guys found that does work for you? What do you think is like the thing that has kind of, got that wind beneath your wings again?
Well, I think one thing in specific is Rocket works very, very well. We've seen it much more often in all the regions. I think that character is insanely good right now. Builds ult fast, res is very strong and neutral, hard to dive. I think that character is something we haven't really put as much emphasis as we should have in matches before.
Now, Z10, you guys have big ambitions. And I know you guys aren't just focused on group stage. You're looking at playoffs. You're looking to make it to playoffs. Maybe you're even looking across a little bit at OCE. Is there a match that you really want to take on now that we're going to go very, very soon to the specific playoffs?
I think Pacific playoffs. I think one match I'm looking forward to is Genji.
Very common answer. I'm hearing a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see how we do it. Well, how we do against them.
Eyes on the prize, and love to see it. Keep going, like. What's up?
I was gonna add on, you guys want to take on Genji. Have there been, let's say, you don't have to leak the results, but have there been scrims against Genji? Have there been some backroom brawls?
I think recently, no. There haven't been any scrims as of recent. I think before stage 1 we scrimmed a couple times. It's been a while since then, so it's hard to say where we are compared to where they are. So we will just continue to keep working hard, keep trying new things as the meta changes.
Yeah, hard work pays off, and definitely keen to see that showcase going forward. I know a lot of teams are putting scrims under lock and key, so information is scarce there. So keen to see it all unveiled once the playoffs do make their way forward. But I guess looking forward to the end of group stage here, which team do you think will end up in first place out of all the teams right now?
I think it's going to be Rejects for this first group stage. I think they are looking very, very good right now.
Yeah, love to see it, and we'll see if it comes true, heading into their future games. I think they've got EXO very soon, so that'll be the showcase, if you will. See how that all goes. I'm sure that one Dan's going to be watching very keenly into that one. But for today, Soko, we do want to say congrats on the victory. We do appreciate your time for coming on once again, and yeah, best of luck for the rest of the group stage.
Thank you.
Good luck.